Brandywine High School for the opening kickoff. Christiana won the toss, deferred, so the Bulldogs will receive to open up this important Fly Day matchup. Both teams entering today's fray with records of 2-1. One common opponent, AI DuPont. Both teams having, well, relatively easy work with AI this year. Davis will kick it away for Christiana.
Number 31, Dwayne Davis will kick off for the Vikings.
That's Kendall Smith back deep. A couple of Brandywine kids back there. Beautiful morning, Jim. Where's the coffee?
And this game is underway. That's Collins, who will swing it to the left side out to about the 30-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds, and that's where the Bulldogs will take over.
You'll get a chance to see that exciting Brandywine offense. Here as they set the ball, Beeson will be your quarterback. Collins, Dorsey, and Schwartzman in the backfield. Kennedy the wide receiver and Rush the tight end. And the front line, very important here as they try to establish that in the trench kind of thing. That offensive line for Brandywine has Skladowski at the center, Burdette and Stabe at the guards. Krupkiel, of course, one of the tackles along with Constantine.
Brandywine thinks pass, but they've got to find running game as well. This is Lydell Dorsey, who will pick up a couple off left tackle.
You know, that offense is going to go against a Christiana defense that proved its mettle last year and has gotten off to a good start this year. Keith Dorsey anchors at the nose guard. He's 264. Brow, Brooks, Wisman, and Long also along that front. The linebackers are good ones. Of course, we talked about Duncan. Marvell Watts also in there. And there's your secondary.
So second down and about 8. Beeson will look to throw, looking. Ball nearly picked off. He was looking for Brian Schwartzman, but Quincy Bull there to make the knockaway.
Quincy
goes incomplete.
Quincy really broke well on the football. It was underthrown by Beeson, and actually he had the shot at the interception, and it just goes off his hands.
So it'll be third down and 8 for the Bulldogs.
Nice size along both of these fronts. Christiana with the advantage. A couple of big kids, Wisman and Brooks, both checking in at 270.
Beeson looking to throw a flag on the play, and he is swarmed from behind. Looked like Rob Long was there to gobble him up from behind. Beeson never knew what hit him.
Well, he didn't, and Dorsey was in there also, but Long had a lot of time to come around from his defensive end spot. It's going to be looks like a procedure call against the Bulldogs. Tommy Mason Jr. is your referee today. There's an illegal shift call. It'll be declined and bring up a fourth down, but Rob Long with a lot of pressure from that defensive end spot.
So Davis back deep to field the punt. It'll bounce out of bounds right near the 40. That's where the Vikings will take over.
And it'll
not
be
an opening drive that the Bulldogs probably had designed on their chalkboard during practice.
Well, that Christiana defense, especially on the pass play on second down, reacted very well, and good coverage by the secondary. But here we get a chance to see that Christiana offense. Bobby Scarfo's the quarterback. There's Davis and Duncan, your backfield, along with Watts. Brow and Buffano, your receivers. And it's a big offensive line. Pritchett, Longs, Ranowski, DeVore, and Wisman.
A lot of talent in that Viking backfield. They'll give it to Davis. He's got a hole. Pick up about 5 yards. They call this guy the Flame. Dwayne Davis, first team All-State last year, but he's got like 4.36 speed in the 40. He's a bona fide burner.
And that defense right there is going to have to play tough. They reacted fairly well. Skladowski's the nose. Constantine and Gatta the tackles. Burdette and Rush the defensive ends. Krupkiel and Caputo at the linebacker positions. Dorsey, Smith, Case, and Todd the defensive secondary.
Second down and 7 for the Vikings. This is Watts on a carry. A flag flies. Watts, who is battling a bout of the flu, knock backwards, but again, there is a flag on the play.
You know, the many times we had the Vikes on Channel 2 last year, there's another illegal shift call. Marvell Watts really came on in that fullback position, was exciting in some of the very difficult games they had later in the year, especially the William Penn couple of games we had on. But Marvell adds a lot of, here's a look at that Brandywine defense we just called a second ago. The defensive front, and coming up next will be your linebackers and defensive secondary.
Getting back to Watts, though, 121 yards, 25 carries versus Elton. Look at his build, 5'8", 230. He's a fire plug. They're down in 7. Davis in motion. He'll give it to Watts. He'll carry a few people with him. Pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry, but he is shy of the first down.
Constantine there on the tackle, along with Scata. Both defenses doing well on the first sequences. The offense is a little tentative.
Well, Brandywine coach Larry Wheeler told me that the key for the Bulldogs today is to get into that Christiana backfield. He said they've got so much speed that if they don't get him then, they might not catch him at all. That's important for him. So the Vikings will punt it away. Davis will punt it away. Smith back deep for Brandywine. He'll get under it. Turns back. He's looking to make something happen and does a good job to get out to about the 19-yard line.
I believe there is a penalty flag on the play. That was a heck of a punt and a decent return. Let's check the flag, though.
And we'll see what this call is all about.
Chance to give you our officials, Northern Delaware Football Officials Association. We mentioned Tom Mason, the good guy in the white hat there. Wait for his call. Illegal procedure against Christiana. It'll be declined, but Bob Webb's his umpire. Dan Monagle, the linesman. Rick Jessick, the line judge. Jerry Kelly's the back judge, and Tom Katuski, the electric clock operator, up here in the press box.
So Roy Beeson and his Bulldogs will have another crack at it. Beeson, of course, the fine senior quarterback for Brandywine, thrown for 4 touchdowns as Beeson this year. He's run for another. Here's the pitch to Collins, and he is stuck hard by Duncan.
Yeah, the initial hit was by number 20, Quincy Bull, but Jamie Duncan with a good scrape out of that linebacker position. And in what has become a penalty-riddled first quarter, another flag and a procedure call against Brandywine.
Talking about Harold Collins, though, the Channel 2 Athlete of the Week from last week. This is a kid who, in a pass-oriented offense, is averaging over 100 yards a game, and he's had some big ones.
That penalty was declined after the good linebacker play by Duncan. 2nd and 10.
174 yards, 3 TDs versus A.I. DuPont for Collins. That's the kind of numbers this young man can post, and Coach Wheeler says, hey, that's the gravy, because they are thinking pass with this offensive scheme. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 for Brandywine. Looking to throw. The pass is complete.
That's Rush.
Ryan Rush, the end, yeah.
But Mike Brown with a nice pursuit angle and only a pickup of about 4. It looks like Bill has made a little shift in that defensive front. They're normally a 5-2 set, but in passing situations, they're going to that 4-man set up front, getting some another linebacker in play and reacting to motion.
So 3rd down. Beeson looking to throw, has some time. Pass incomplete. He was looking for Kennedy, their talented split end. He was unable to track it down, however.
Well, they got their feet tangled up, and from where we stood, a good no call, although the Brandywine folks probably wouldn't agree. And there's another 3 and out, and Larry's talking to his young quarterback right there. He's actually throwing wide receiver.
So this first quarter kind of going like First round in a prize fight, kind of a feeling out process. 7:55 left in the first quarter. The punt is away, and it'll die at about the 46-yard line.
Well, field position has been in Christiana's favor, at least here in the early going, and they take over in Brandywine territory. We talked about the size, Jim, of those different lines. Brandywine with some decent size at the tackle positions here. Constantine and Krukil both over 220. But when you look at that Christiana front, there are some big kids up there. Wisman at 270 and experience.
So the goal for the Vikings here is to get Davis and Duncan tracked. Here's Dwayne Davis. Gets a few. You look at that acceleration, though. You can see he's a good one. Only picked up about 3, maybe 4 yards that time.
One of the things the folks want to watch is the corner play of both teams. That time, Lydell Dorsey came up very quickly from his cornerback position and gave support. You'll see 19 show very quickly at the bottom of your screen. Here comes Davis with Watts in the lead there, but see Dorsey, he's up there very, very quickly and keeps it to a 3-yard gain.
So 2nd down and 7 for Christiana. Bobby Scarfo, the Viking quarterback. This time he'll pitch to Jamie Duncan. Nope, that is Dwayne Davis near the first down. Not quite there, however.
When you get Dwayne Davis, out on the flank, that's where his speed becomes a killer. And that time he just about turned the corner, but once again, nice pursuit angles by that Brandywine defense keeps him from breaking one. 3rd and short.
3rd and 2. Getting back to Scarfo, the senior quarterback for the Vikings. Coach Bill Muehlheisen tells me he can throw the ball. He's a decent quarterback. But the most important thing for this Viking team is he runs the offense so well. He's an engineer out there. He keeps all the cylinders clicking.
But when you got the kids in the backfield that he has, there's a lot of weapons. He has to be the field general for Bill Muehlheisen.
So 3rd and short for Christiana. No score in the first quarter. Jim Hayes, Angie Rossi with you. Some whistles, some flags, the whole shooting match.
I think that's going to be a delay of game where the penalty flag came.
I'll tell you what, this is a heck of a lot better weather we're having now than last weekend at Tower Hill.
Well, not only that, last Friday night, of course, over at Baynard, Christiana and Salesianum played in the remnants of the tropical storm that came our way, and once that game got going, forget it. I mean, it was the Mud Bowl.
William Penn won that game. Tough footing for both teams, but certainly would change the complexion of the contest.
Actually, it was Salesianum over Christiana.
Duncan bowling across. Only short yardage on that one.
Well, and the reason it was short yardage is because John Constantine wasn't fooled at all by the trap. He sat right in there, and it's going to be 3 and out on a fine defensive play by the junior tackle, 6'3", 226.
I was momentarily distracted, but I was at a loss to believe that they actually could play that game, the Salesianum-Christiana game.
Well, especially at Baynard with the shape that the field gets in after one of those monsoons.
Tropical storm Danielle raining down her fury on the area. The punt will go out of bounds at about the 15.
Speaking, though, of William Penn, Jim, the Colonials get off the schneid last night with a 26-24 exciting win down at Glasgow. That must have been a heck of a ball game, reading a report in the News Journal this morning. But Penn now at 1-2 and off on their play day schedule. Wilmington High School over AI DuPont. Things tough up in Greenville, and
it's a transition year.
No question. The Tiger takes it again 20-6, but the Red Devils with a couple of wins under their belt early in the season. Big game downstate. The Seaford Blue Jay blanks Caesar Rodney, 21-0.
So a first down from about the 18 for Brandywine. Beeson will pitch to Collins. Collins spins away from one tackler and picks up about 3 or 4.
You know, you talk about the strength of some of these kids. Marvell Watts with an arm tackle there. He just kind of swiped across the chest, and down goes